Hello friends. Now let us take up the concept number 7, PFT 1B7, calling a function from the main function. In the previous concept, I demonstrated calling a function from the program itself. Now you see, suppose this is the program and here function is there, function definition is there, calculate sum. This is function definition, and here we are making the function call. So within the program we are calling. This is direct calling. This is possible. If you want to call it later through main, like in C family, C++, and Java, then you can do that. That is indirect way of calling a function. Okay, so that I want to show you. For this purpose, in the program, I have defined two functions. The first function is print line. Which type of function? Just as a matter of information, which type of function it is? Actually, function with no arguments. We are not passing any argument. It is not returning. This is not returning any value. That's why function with no arguments, with no return value. One function I have written is the print line. Whenever it is called, what it does? It draws a line like this. That's it. Okay. Now, already I told you one thing. However simple job it is, if it is having a distinct nature, we have to define a function. However simple it is, only one line of code. Okay. Next one already explained to you. This is calculate sum. Actually, which type of function it is? Function which takes argument and which return a value. This is the second function. If you want to call them within the program, you call. Or otherwise, this is a direct way of calling. Indirect way of calling. Actually, for this purpose, we define the main. Main also, like this only, the same syntax we have to define. And here, indentation is required. And here you see that here we can make the calls. What is the call? First call, actually, print line. Print line I am making. Actually, you see this. I am not giving any actual arguments here because it does not require it. It does not return any value. That's why here any variable I didn't write. Just I called. As a result of that, what happened? One line is drawn. Okay. Second one, sum or yes, sum, calculate sum. Now two values I am giving, 10, 5. Values I am giving. Y I have written sum here, one variable y I have written. It returns a value. Somebody is giving something to you, you have to put in a container. So this is receiving a value. That's why we are storing it. It is not returning anything. It is not taking anything. That's why we are not passing anything. It is not returning anything. That's why we didn't write any variable. Now you compare this one. This takes arguments. That's why we are passing actual arguments. This returns a value. That's why it is being stored here. So this is the way. Okay, in main we made the function calls. Okay, and here one more distinction is there in Python. In C family, C and Java, we need not call main. Main automatically it is called. But here you should call the main. You should call the main explicitly. Then only main is called. Like other functions, main also should be called. Then only it is activated. So then this is the indirect way of calling. Actually, in many programs and projects, through main only you call the functions. Main is like a manager. Whatever function it requires, it calls. It is having all the control. And again, main should be called. This is a little confusing to you. Through one example, you can understand very well. Actually, in your home, 5 types of equipments are there, like a fan, AC, cooler, etc., etc. 5 types of equipments are there. Okay. These 5 equipment, they have their switches. All switches are on. All switches are on. But from where you are calling? In main. Main. This is the main. But main switch is off. Main switch is off. So because of main switch is turning off, even though these are on also, they don't work. So here, because we are calling these functions, means we are making them on. We are making, now we see in main you made the function calls. Because of that, they should be operated. But only thing is main switch is off. So whenever main is being called, main switch is turned on. In turn, all these are working. Once again, I may explain with reference to this. Here, what we did, two function definitions are there. Actually, according to our principle, here function calls are made. As soon as function calls are made, they should be executed and gives the result. That's what I told you. But here, previous program, directly we called. Here, indirectly we are calling through main. That's why even though you call them, these are not executed. These are not executed. When it is executed, this is the main switch. Whenever you call main switch is on, then in turn the two functions are executed. This way you have to understand this, and in our projects and all that, we call functions from main only. Once you perform one program, just to understand this concept, you may have some doubts. Don't worry about that. Once you take up our project, in project every bit I am explaining, then this conceptual support will help you. Then everything will be clear. While driving the car, while learning the driving of the car, you are learning about all the things like what is clutch, what is brake, what is accelerator, what to do, what not to do, do's and don'ts. All that you can understand while learning driving the car. If those are explained in the classroom, you may not grasp. So that point you have to understand, and this actually in our programs, this model only we execute.